Beneath the sweeping plains of the Indus River, hidden under centuries of silt and dust, lies a civilization whose brilliance rivals the greatest of the ancient world. The Harappan civilization, a jewel of the Indus Valley, flourished over 4,000 years ago, weaving a tale of urban sophistication that continues to astonish as archaeologists and historians alike. Cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro reveal a level of planning and organization that seems almost modern, with streets laid out in precise grids, standardized bricks forming sturdy homes, and an intricate drainage system running beneath the bustling avenues. Yet for all its achievements, the civilization remains enigmatic. Its script remains undeciphered, leaving a silent narrative of politics, trade, and culture locked within tiny seals and inscriptions. Its disappearance, abrupt and mysterious, raises questions that still haunt the fertile plains of Pakistan and northwest India. Was it environmental catastrophe, invasion, or a gradual transformation? In this documentary, we journey into the heart of Harappan urban genius, exploring their monumental achievements, daily lives, and the shadowy veil of mystery that shrouds their decline. As we traverse ancient streets long swallowed by time, one question echoes relentlessly. What secrets does this lost civilization still hold? The story of the Indus Valley Civilization begins over 1,000 years ago, along the winding waters of the Indus River and its tributaries. These fertile plains, stretching across present-day Pakistan and northwest India, provided an environment uniquely suited to agriculture and settlement. The annual flooding of the Indus deposited rich layers of alluvial soil, allowing early communities to cultivate wheat, barley, and pulses with remarkable success. The earliest known settlements, such as Mehrgarh in modern Balochistan, trace back to around 7,000 BCE. Initially, these were small agricultural villages where people lived in mud brick houses and practiced rudimentary farming techniques. Gradually, as populations grew, the communities evolved into complex, interconnected networks of towns and cities. Mehrgarh, with its granaries, mud brick structures, and evidence of trade, offers a window into the incubation of urban life in the region. By around 3300 BCE, the early Harappan phase emerged, characterized by larger settlements and burgeoning trade networks. These communities began to organize themselves with a vision of order and standardization rarely seen in contemporaneous civilizations. Artifacts such as standardized weights, measures, and seals hint at a society deeply invested in commerce and administration. Long-distance trade connected the Indus Valley to distant Mesopotamia, exchanging precious stones, metals, and luxury goods, suggesting not only economic sophistication but cultural interconnectedness. Geography played a crucial role in shaping this civilization. The Indus River acted as both a lifeline and a conduit for trade, while the surrounding deserts and mountains provided natural protection. The civilization expanded along river valleys, creating a network of urban centers that shared architectural principles, standardized brick sizes, and civic planning. Agricultural abundance fueled population growth, which in turn demanded innovations in water management, urban design, and social organization. Yet the rise of the Indus Valley Civilization was not merely a story of practicality and survival. It was a tale of human ambition, the desire to build, organize, and flourish in harmony with the forces of nature. By 2600 BCE, the civilization had entered its mature phase, with sprawling cities, fortified citadels, and sophisticated civic infrastructure, signaling the emergence of one of history's most remarkable urban cultures. And yet, despite the grandeur of their cities and the precision of their urban systems, the origins of the Harappans remain partially shrouded in mystery. Who were these people? What language did they speak? And what drove them to conceive cities that would stand as testaments to human ingenuity for millennia? These questions linger as shadows over the fertile plains, inviting us to explore the genius that lay at the heart of the Indus Valley. The cities of the Harappan civilization are perhaps its most enduring legacy, testaments to a vision of order and urban perfection rarely seen in the ancient world. Imagine walking through the streets of Mohenjo-daro or Harappa, broad avenues stretching in straight lines, intersected by perpendicular streets forming a grid-like pattern that would not feel out of place in a modern metropolis. Such meticulous urban planning, over 4,000 years ago, suggests not merely practicality, but an advanced understanding of civil engineering and social organization. Every aspect of these cities reveals a conscious effort to harmonize human habitation with functionality. Houses were built from standardized baked bricks, their uniform sizes ensuring both strength and aesthetic consistency. Many homes featured private wells and bathing areas, highlighting an advanced concern for hygiene and water management. Streets were laid out in hierarchical order, major thoroughfares for public traffic, narrower lanes leading to residential quarters. Each district seemed to follow precise planning, reflecting a society that valued order, predictability, and efficiency. The drainage system of the Harappans remains one of the marvels of ancient engineering. Covered drains ran alongside streets, channeling wastewater away from homes and public spaces. These drains connected individual houses to larger sewer systems, often built of precisely fitted bricks. Public baths, such as the Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro, reveal the civilization's commitment not only to cleanliness, but possibly to ritual and social gathering. The bath itself, a vast tank lined with watertight bricks, suggests ceremonial importance, hinting at a society where urban design and spiritual life intersected. Granaries, warehouses, and dockyards speak to the economic sophistication of the Harappans. Massive granaries were strategically located, possibly for storage and redistribution of grain, indicating centralized oversight and resource management. In Dholavira, the elaborate water reservoirs and stepwells display a deep understanding of water conservation, critical in a semi-arid environment. These features suggest that urban planning extended beyond mere aesthetics. It was a lifeline, ensuring survival and prosperity in a region where the environment could be both generous and unforgiving. Architecture, however, was not uniform. While residential structures were generally modest, public buildings such as granaries, citadels, and assembly halls exhibited grandeur and scale. The citadels, elevated platforms built with massive brickwork, may have served as administrative centers, safeguarding the city while symbolizing authority and organization. Yet unlike contemporary civilizations such as Egypt or Mesopotamia, there is little evidence of palaces or monumental temples, hinting at a social structure that may have emphasized communal order over individual power. The sophistication of Harappan urban design is further evident in the integration of environmental awareness. Cities were often located near rivers but positioned to avoid floodplains, showing strategic foresight. Streets were laid out to allow ventilation, drainage systems prevented disease, and public spaces accommodated markets, gatherings, and communal life. Such meticulous planning reflects a civilization that anticipated the needs of its citizens centuries in advance, blending practicality with vision. Yet for all its brilliance, Harappan urbanism also leaves haunting questions. How did a civilization with such architectural mastery fail to preserve records that could elucidate its political and social life? Why did cities that were once bustling with trade and life fall silent and disappear beneath layers of sediment? The grandeur of their streets, the perfection of their grids, and the ingenuity of their water systems all point to a civilization that understood the art and science of urban living in ways that would not be replicated for centuries. And still, behind the bricks and drains, the silent script on the seals whispers of a society whose language, culture, and ultimate fate remain tantalizingly beyond reach. Step into a Harappan city at the height of its glory, and you are immediately immersed in a world of order, commerce, and daily rhythm that rivals any modern urban landscape. The streets echo with the clatter of carts and the murmur of merchants, while children play near homes built of warm, uniform bricks. In this bustling environment, life was a delicate balance of work, trade, and ritual, a harmony reflected in the meticulous urban design that surrounded them. Trade formed the lifeblood of the Harappan economy. Standardized weights and measures, carefully carved from stone, allowed merchants to conduct transactions with precision. From the bustling markets of Mohenjo-Daro to the dockyards of Lothal, Harappans exchanged goods ranging from beads, shells, and precious stones to metals like copper and bronze. Long-distance trade connected them not only with the Indian subcontinent, but also with distant lands such as Mesopotamia, demonstrating a civilization deeply embedded in a network of early globalization. Craftsmanship was highly developed. Artisans worked with bronze, ivory, and terracotta, creating intricate jewelry, figurines, and pottery. Each artifact hints at both practical utility and aesthetic sophistication. Potter's wheels spun tirelessly, while seals, engraved with enigmatic pictographs, were stamped on goods, suggesting a complex administrative and commercial system. Clothing, though simple, was dyed and decorated, illustrating the Harappans' appreciation for both function and beauty. Religion and spiritual life, though harder to decipher, were clearly integral to daily existence. Terracotta figurines of deities, mother goddess symbols, and the Great Bath suggest ceremonial practices linked to fertility, water, and possibly purification. The absence of monumental temples may imply that spirituality was woven into everyday life rather than centralized in a single sacred location. Socially, the Harappan civilization appears to have embraced a degree of egalitarianism. Residential uniformity, absence of grand palaces, and widespread access to sanitation suggest that citizens shared access to resources. Unlike other contemporary civilizations, social hierarchy was subtle, expressed perhaps in occupation or craft specialization rather than overt displays of power. Families lived in close-knit neighborhoods, connected to the wider city by streets and communal spaces, fostering interaction, trade, and cultural cohesion. Yet despite the clarity of their daily routines, many aspects of Harappan society remain obscured by time. The undeciphered script, etched on small seals and pottery, holds the promise of unlocking secrets of governance, trade contracts, or spiritual beliefs. These silent symbols hint at a civilization whose intellectual and cultural life may have been as rich and sophisticated as its physical infrastructure. As we explore the daily pulse of these ancient cities, one truth emerges. The Harappans were not merely survivors. They were innovators, thinkers, and architects of civilization. And while their streets still whisper their story, the questions of their ultimate fate linger, beckoning us to uncover the full tapestry of life in the Indus Valley. The remnants of the Harappan civilization, scattered across the plains of Pakistan and northwest India, tell stories both vivid and mysterious. Each archaeological site offers a window into the ingenuity and complexity of a society long vanished, yet still speaking across millennia. Harappa, the site that gave the civilization its name, reveals a city of careful planning and civic organization. Excavations uncover streets arranged in perfect grids, homes with private wells, and large communal structures. Seals etched with the undeciphered script, weights, and pottery fragments suggest a thriving economy and an intricate administrative system. Harappa provides the blueprint for understanding the urban ideals of the Indus Valley. Mohenjo-Daro, perhaps the most famous of all Harappan sites, rises like a ghost city from the sands of Sindh. Its Great Bath remains a marvel, a vast, watertight reservoir lined with baked bricks, fed by an elaborate drainage system. The citadel, elevated above the city, hints at both administrative control and ceremonial importance. Streets intersect at perfect right angles, and residential blocks reveal a surprising uniformity, suggesting centralized planning and civic foresight. Dholavira, located in the arid expanses of the Kutch region, presents a different aspect of Harappan ingenuity. Here, water management reaches its zenith. Massive reservoirs, step wells, and a system of channels demonstrate a civilization attuned to environmental challenges. Dholavira's sophisticated layout, including a series of citadels, middle towns, and lower towns, showcases a keen understanding of urban hierarchy and resource management in a harsh climate. Lothal, perched near the coast of present-day Gujarat, underscores the maritime dimension of the Harappan world. Its dockyard, perhaps the earliest known in the ancient world, enabled trade with distant lands. The site reveals a blend of urban planning and commercial pragmatism, with warehouses, bead-making workshops, and residential quarters clustered around the dock. Lothal exemplifies the civilization's capacity for both engineering and trade. These sites collectively offer profound insights. The uniformity of brick sizes, the sophistication of drainage systems, and the meticulous urban layouts reveal a civilization committed to order and functionality. Yet despite these remarkable achievements, every site also raises haunting questions. How did a society so advanced in engineering and urban planning disappear so completely? What stories remain hidden in the undeciphered seals and inscriptions? As we examine these key sites, one thing becomes clear. The physical remnants of the Harappan civilization are not just ruins. They are echoes of a society that mastered the art of city building, trade, and daily life with a precision and foresight that challenges modern assumptions about ancient history. Amidst the marvels of urban planning and daily life lies a puzzle that continues to baffle historians. The abrupt decline of the Harappan civilization. Around 1900 BCE, once thriving cities fell into silence, their streets emptied, homes abandoned, and monuments left to the encroaching dust. What could have caused such a sudden unraveling of one of the ancient world's most sophisticated societies? One prominent theory points to environmental change. Rivers that once nourished the plains shifted or dried, including the enigmatic Sarasvati River, long revered in later texts but now lost to the desert sands. Monsoon patterns may have altered, reducing agricultural yields and destabilizing food supplies. A civilization dependent on irrigation and riverine trade would have faced profound disruption. Archaeological evidence also hints at tectonic and geological forces at play. Earthquakes could have altered river courses, destroyed infrastructure, and fractured urban cohesion. Cities that were meticulously planned may have suddenly become uninhabitable, forcing populations to migrate in search of water, fertile soil, and safety. Yet, environmental factors alone may not tell the full story. Some scholars suggest trade collapse as a contributing cause. The Indus Valley had extensive commercial links with Mesopotamia and other regions. Disruptions in trade networks could have undermined economic stability, compounding the challenges posed by environmental change. Other theories point to social upheaval or invasion. While evidence of widespread conflict is scarce, small-scale violence or migration pressures may have strained civic structures, leading to gradual decline. Perhaps internal social transformations, such as shifts from urban centers to smaller rural communities, contributed to the civilization's fade into history. Despite decades of research, no single explanation is universally accepted. The truth may lie in a confluence of factors: environmental shifts, economic disruption, societal changes, and human adaptability. What is certain is that the disappearance of the Harappan civilization marks one of history's most compelling enigmas, a reminder that even the most advanced societies are vulnerable to forces beyond their control. And yet, even in decline, the Harappans left behind a legacy of innovation, architecture, and urban vision that continues to inspire awe. Their cities, though silent, whisper lessons about resilience, ingenuity, and the fragility of human achievement. The silent cities of the Indus Valley may not speak, but they leave behind whispers etched in clay, stone, and brick. Clues that archaeologists have painstakingly uncovered over more than a century. Excavations at Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro, Dhaolavira, and Lothal have revealed the framework of a civilization of astonishing sophistication, whose systems of trade, governance, and daily life are gradually being pieced together. Among the most striking finds are the seals, small, square pieces of steatite engraved with intricate symbols, animals, and undeciphered script. While their precise purpose remains unknown, scholars believe they served as administrative markers, tokens of trade, or even talismans imbued with spiritual significance. The uniformity of the symbols across distant cities hints at a shared culture and perhaps a centralized system of communication or governance. Weights and measures, carved from stone with exacting precision, speak to an advanced economy. Merchants could trade goods with confidence, confident that their measures were standardized across hundreds of miles. Pottery fragments, often decorated with geometric patterns and motifs of flora and fauna, reflect both artistry and utility, preserving glimpses of a society that valued both aesthetics and practicality. Urban infrastructure provides further evidence of meticulous planning. Brick-lined streets, granaries, wells, and drainage systems all point to a society that prioritized hygiene, food security, and civic order. Even minor details, such as the orientation of houses and the uniform size of bricks, suggest that the Harappans maintained standards across time and space, reinforcing the idea of coordinated urban planning. Yet texts are sparse. Unlike the cuneiform of Mesopotamia or hieroglyphs of Egypt, the Harappan script remains undeciphered. Short inscriptions appear on seals, pottery, and tablets, but no lengthy narrative or administrative document has survived. Without these records, much of the political, religious, and social life of the Harappans remains tantalizingly hidden. Ancient references in later Vedic texts and legends provide tantalizing hints but cannot be fully relied upon as historical records. The possible connection to the Sarasvati River, revered in texts yet now vanished, and the echoes of Harappan cities in myths suggest a lingering cultural memory. Archaeology, therefore, becomes the primary lens through which we reconstruct a civilization otherwise silenced by time. Through these material remains, a picture emerges. The Harappans were innovators, engineers, and traders, navigating rivers, managing resources, and creating urban spaces of remarkable harmony. Yet the gaps, the undeciphered script, the absence of monumental inscriptions, leave a lingering tension between what we know and what remains a mystery. It is this tension that continues to captivate historians, archaeologists, and anyone who stands before the silent ruins and wonders about the minds that built them. The legacy of the Harappan civilization extends far beyond the bricks and streets of its cities. Though its script remains unread and its political systems obscure, its innovations in urban planning, engineering, and commerce left indelible marks on subsequent cultures in the Indian subcontinent. Grid-based city layouts, advanced drainage, and standardized construction techniques influenced urban planning in later historic periods. The meticulous attention to civic order, water management, and sanitation foreshadowed aspects of city design that would not reappear at such a scale until millennia later. Even today, modern planners marvel at the foresight evident in Harappan infrastructure. Economically, the Harappans set standards in trade and craftsmanship. The precision of weights and measures, the artistry of beadwork, pottery, and metallurgy, and the sophistication of maritime commerce created a model for economic organization that inspired neighboring regions. Their engagement in long-distance trade hinted at the potential for globalized networks, a concept still relevant in contemporary commerce. Culturally, the emphasis on urban harmony and communal spaces suggests social principles that valued collective well-being over ostentatious displays of power. Though the civilization vanished, its principles, order, innovation, and resourcefulness, echoed in the cities and societies that followed, leaving a subtle but enduring imprint on the trajectory of South Asian history. In essence, the Harappan civilization was a beacon of human ingenuity, demonstrating that urban brilliance, social organization, and technological innovation are timeless pursuits, transcending the rise and fall of empires. Beyond mainstream archaeology, alternative theories invite us to consider Harappan history from unconventional perspectives. Some suggest that the civilization did not vanish entirely, but gradually transformed, with urban populations dispersing into smaller villages while preserving cultural and technological knowledge. Others propose that climatic changes or river shifts prompted migration rather than collapse, allowing elements of Harappan culture to survive in new forms. The undeciphered script remains one of history's greatest enigmas. Despite advances in linguistics and computational analysis, no scholar has conclusively decoded it. Could it contain political treaties, spiritual texts, or trade records? The answers remain locked away, tantalizing and elusive. Some researchers also speculate about lost cities, submerged or destroyed, waiting to be uncovered. Satellite imagery and ground-penetrating radar have hinted at urban centers yet to be excavated, suggesting that the known Harappan sites may represent only a fraction of the civilization's full extent. Even the causes of decline remain unresolved. Was it environmental catastrophe, social upheaval, trade disruption, or a combination of all three? Each theory has supporting evidence, yet none fully explains the breadth and uniformity of the civilization's disappearance. The mystery endures, leaving historians with tantalizing questions that may never be definitively answered. These unresolved issues are not limitations, they are invitations. They challenge us to rethink assumptions about ancient societies and to remain vigilant in our search for knowledge, guided by the silent, enduring ruins of a civilization that once defined urban sophistication. The Harappan civilization, with its meticulously planned cities, advanced engineering, and thriving commerce, stands as a testament to human ingenuity and foresight. From the streets of Mohenjo-Daro to the reservoirs of Dholavira, Every brick, seal, and artifact tells a story of a society that mastered urban life in ways that continue to inspire awe. Yet the civilization also embodies mystery. Its undeciphered script, the silent ruins of its cities, and the enigma of its decline remind us that even the most advanced societies can vanish, leaving behind tantalizing clues rather than clear answers. The Harappans teach us that human achievement is fragile, yet their legacy endures in the principles of planning, trade, and community. As we reflect on the echoes of the Indus Valley, we are reminded that history is not merely a record of the past. It is a dialogue with civilizations that came before us, inviting us to listen, learn, and wonder. The streets may be silent and the baths empty, but the genius of the Harappans continues to whisper across the millennia, challenging us to uncover the secrets of a lost world.